Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean. This is In The Mixer, episode 47. Happy Tuesday wherever in the world you're watching from, even if you're watching this one in post. I hope you have had a good day. That is a rambling sentence to start this off, but I should also call out early, as quickly as I know about it, that you may see some of our schedule changing on the channel. We have been pretty good about Monday to Friday. I'm still aspiring to get Monday to Friday done each week, but what's happened is our Sunday League football is now back. So we are training again. We've been training for a couple of weeks. We've got Sunday friendlies and stuff now. So some of my recording times actually disappeared just a little bit, and you might actually see, for example, today, the same shirt twice in a row because I've recorded 2 episodes on the same date. Or alternatively, we may reduce certain weeks if we just can't get to it. One of the things that I've kind of learned over making a whole bunch of different content is if I bulk record and get too far in advance, the content actually suffers because it just comes for me more about slamming through 4 or 5 episodes rather than making them high quality, rather than making them energetic, rather than making them interesting for you guys, the viewers. So you may see a couple of little different changes here and there, but we are still aspiring to get Monday to Friday episodes out. But if you don't see anything, don't panic, don't freak out, don't reach out in Twitter DMs. It just means that we are at football training or playing a game or something like that, and there will be an episode as soon as we can get it up. And on that particular Freudian slip, we might as well jump straight into the game. How we are traveling. So as you can see here, we are 27 games in, 10 wins, 10 draws, and 7 losses in that time, plus 10 goal difference, which is actually pretty good as far as the league's concerned. It is relatively even, and when we are winning, we are scoring quite frequently. We're on 40 points. There are a whole bunch of teams within one game of us though. So we're just holding on to that playoff position, and we have 2 games today and one great chance, I think, to jump up the league a little bit more. Like Crew, let's be honest, Crew have been fantastic so far this season. 54 points, they're 14 points ahead of us, 6 points ahead of Wimbledon in second spot. And while we are only really kind of setting ourselves a top 10 finish target, if we do get this close, you kind of always want to take it as far as you can and at least get into the playoff positions and see how we go from there. Since that last episode, only one game. A 2-0 defeat to Salford. I've said, I've called out, I've highlighted that anything can happen whenever you load up a game. It's a little bit frustrating that we're on a great run of form, had that 2-2 draw with Doncaster, then we loaded the game up again for Stevenage to record yesterday's episode. 1-4-1, I thought great, form's continuing, everyone's doing well, but then 2 defeats back to back kind of send us, not down the table, our goal difference keeps us in it quite a bit, but like if we had have gotten 6 points in those games, we'd probably be sitting up in 4th, 1 point off the automatic promotion places against Doncaster, who we have beaten and drawn with so far this season. So it does feel like a little bit of a missed opportunity. It does kind of derail a good little run of form that we're putting on. But, you know, it's a new year. Anything can happen once you change that calendar across. Anything can happen once we get to the league to focus on. So our 2 big games today are going to be Leyton Orient, who are currently down in 21st. We're going to go after them a little bit. And then we are playing Sunderland, who are currently 15th in Sky Bet League 1. Still struggling down towards the lower divisions, not quite back up to the Premier Division just yet, but we're going to be playing them in our leasing.com Trophy North 3rd round, which is the old League Cup, the old Carabao Cup. And I think this is also the last round before the Premier League sides drop in the 4th round. So 2 massive fixtures, probably our biggest opponent to date, and hopefully we can get finally 2 wins in an episode and make the most of it. I'm going to take you guys through this portion, which we don't do quite often. It's just the match previews and stuff. We're both inconsistent at the moment. If we hadn't had those 2 defeats last time out, we'd be much better in terms of form. We are 5-4 favourites. We are playing not at home, but at our rented stadium, Highbury in Fleetwood. And this is where the team is currently at. We've got Gennaro, who's ready to go, Carson and Rooney, who are very comfortable as a central defensive partnership now, Sereno, who's been excellent, Goke, who's been excellent, Bennett and Jasper are back as well. We want to try and work them into the team as much as possible, be that creativity in wide areas on both wings. Gilson and Cornett will anchor midfield, and Gaxa and Samuels up top. We've got pretty much a full bench available. The only person out at the moment is Joel Connolly, but he's a backup right back anyway. So while he would be on the bench if we were picking our team from scratch, it's not the worst thing in the world that he's out. We are struggling with that one rule to have a player homegrown at the club in each matchday squad. So Yates will come in. He's a fake player. It does mean Will Dennis has missed out on a lot of games or a lot of bench appearances and all that sort of stuff, but he seems to be handling it okay so far. And we are, of course, on our attacking structure. That's what we've been doing for the last month or so. It's working well. If we don't get a good result in this game, we might switch back to our just regular positive style. They are playing a 5-4-1. They've got some good players in the team. Harry Burgoyne, we actually had in our FC Isle of Man series last season, and he was excellent for us. Now 29 years of age in this database, about 6 years down the track. or going into the 7th year now, actually. Tariq Hines, a right back from the Tottenham Academy, looks to be a fairly solid option. Not the best technically, but good physical and mental attributes. On the left-hand side, they've got Cole Da Silva, ex-Brentford, who's quite good. He's got much better technical abilities, also came through the Chelsea Academy as a young player. So he'll be one to keep an eye on. He wears the captain's armband today. And their leading scorer, Jamal Hector Ingram, a West Ham United junior, came through that academy structure, looks to be fairly solid as well. So even though they are down towards the bottom of the division, all the teams that we come up against consistently give us issues because of the individual quality that they've got. The quantity is always the same. It's always 11. Very rarely does a team start with 10 or 12. Assertively, we're going to say, media have given you a lot of credit lately, put on a worthy display, and we're going to tell the front two that we have faith in them, and hopefully they can lift their games a little bit, find the back of the net early, and settle at least my nerves before we go into the big game against Sunderland. A win would be great to take in a little bit of momentum going into that game, but of course, we're not expected to do too much in any of our trophy competitions, so they're not the priority for the season. Throwing here, it's with Wellens at the base of midfield. Someone's got to go to him, and it looked like we kind of just sent him backwards there. Doesn't look super comfortable on the ball. King goes out left to Maguire-Drew, who skips past one challenge, gets the strike. It was a poor effort, though. A little bit more power on it. It might have troubled Gennaro, but he did well to hold and claim the ball. Bennett's gone through someone here. The referee's calling him over. It's always a concern when a highlight starts like that. He just gets a telling off, but they do have a wide free kick. Maguire-Drew to take towards back stick. It's pinballing around. Goke spins it around. It was a good save from Gennaro just to keep it clear. Malcolm with the ball over the top to Gilchrist. He goes for the flick on header, and he was offside in the build-up. But it's all Leighton Orient that we've seen so far. So let's move this to positive. See if we can't get some more shots and some more shots on target. It does see us keep the ball a little bit more effectively. And I'm also going to use our demand more shout with about 15 minutes remaining in the first half. All right, half-time comes, and we've only had 3 shots, 2 on target, 48% of the ball. They've had 6, 4, and 52. But the frustrating part is that we haven't had any highlights at all. Assertively, we're going to say, I'm far from pleased, and everyone seems fired up, so that's at least a good response. We are still on our positive mentality. If things don't change, we might give it to the hour mark and then go back to our attacking structure with some fresh players out there. First throw in for us that we've seen, Sereno takes. Plays to Jasper, back to Sereno again. He's got Cornet in midfield. Now Carson, across to Rooney, keeping the ball well. We've got a 2v1 on the right if we work this quickly. Goes to Goke now. He's got a lot to do though. Forward to Bennett. Can try to turn his man. He puts a deep ball in, but Berglund comes out and claims with ease. Highlight continues here. Is he going to go a long one forward? He has gone straight down the middle. No one's gotten there. Ball across from Thompson-Drew. Sereno with a good header back towards Gennaro, who claims it just on the line. A little bit sketchy there. Sereno with the ball now into Jasper. From the throw-in into Gilsonen, who's been pretty anomalous so far. Ball in behind for Gaxa, who's gotten there, and he just had to try and find a shot on target. He just screwed it past the far post, or the near post, I should say. Let's go to our tactics here. An hour played. Bennett's struggling, so we're going to bring on David Wang at right midfield. We're going to go back to our attacking structure and go after it a little bit. Goke's not playing well, but we don't have much we can do there. Samuels is struggling as well, so we're going to bring Mampala on. Rare that we actually take Samuels off. And we're going to bring on Roland for Cornet, who's, I think, in a little bit of a downturn of form over the last month or so. And 3 subs with 30 minutes remaining. It's always risky to do. We're going to go get creative as well. Malcolm with the ball in behind. Carson flicks it back to Gennaro, who should claim with ease. Back to Carson, who can turn. Looks for a long ball forward. Gaxa does well to knock it down for Mampala. Ball ricochets to Gilsonen. Steps inside and tries a strike from distance. Wasn't far off. The keeper scrambled very late. Didn't have that much pace on it. Carson with a deep free kick here. Forward to Sereno. Ball over the top wasn't really on. Malcolm wins the free header and finds Ward, who's on his own in midfield. Ball out left to Maguire-Drew, who again beats the man in that wide area. He's skipping past people pretty easily at the moment. Ward with the ball at the top of the box. Out to Maguire-Drew again. David Wang with a good tackle that time, but only as far back as Da Silva. Ward to Deckel Dax. Phenomenal name. Ball out wide right to Gilchrist, and Josh Gilchrist has his first goal of the season. We're going to check this one out in 3D. They're saying that David Wang knows he was at fault. Maybe he missed an interception or something. But it looked like just a good ball here from Deckel Dax. And Gilchrist didn't have much of an angle to work with. First time gets the strike and beats Gennaro at near post. You want to see your keeper do a little bit better there. He does get a diving hand to it. Probably knocked himself out on the corner post as he went through. Let's use our get creative shout again. 15 minutes remaining. Got a goal kick here. Gennaro to take. Resets through Rooney. Ball out left now. Only Gilchrist was out there. We should be able to find feet. Gilsonen heads it to no one in particular. Maguire-Drew on the left here, who's gotten past us every time he's got the ball. And Ward with the drive from the edge of the area. Had a bit of venom on it. Would have beaten the keeper had it been on target. We're into the last 10 minutes now. We're going to use our demand more shout. Everyone seems focused, but what we need is the ball in the back of the net. 4 minutes to be added on here, and we are rocketing through it. Any late highlights to pull one back? And no. 8 shots, 3 on target, 47% possession for Isle of Man. Leighton Orient, 9, 5, and 53. We have been, again, beaten by a team in the lower half of the league. We do quite well against teams that are at our level or above us in the division, but these bottom sides have consistently taken points off us, and it's our now 8th league defeat of the year, which isn't great. Caesar's dropped down to 10th position, but we are only 3 points off one game, you would say. Those promotion spots. Salford, after having a really slow start to the season, are now rocketing back up the table. You can see here, FC Isle of Man promotion bid takes a hit. Gilchrist, the goal scorer, gets the Man of the Match award. Bit disappointing, but I guess it does kind of set us up to return back to our positive mentality for a little bit. And we might even potentially, Carson's got a suspension, so Bellahoon will come in. Knight will go onto the bench. We might potentially also rotate a little bit for the next game. We're not super worried about the result or carrying on our cup competitions too much farther. So there is potential that we don't need to play a full strength lineup and try and get some of these players in. And if they do well, they keep their spots. But I think we do want to try and find some consistency in the lineup and some consistency in the team. So magic of editing, we'll jump forward and have a look at the lineup for the Sunderland games now. All right, so a little bit not according to plan. You can see here, today's match against Sunderland has been postponed due to a waterlogged pitch at Highbury Stadium. The fixture's been rearranged for Wednesday, the 21st of January. So I guess that means we're just going to do our next game, which is against AFC Wimbledon, who are currently 3rd in the division, which isn't great. It's not ideal. I know we would have loved to bring everyone the Sunderland game in this episode, but given the constraints we're under with recording and everything, I think it's probably best that we just do our sequential episodes, focus on the league itself, and then I'm probably going to play a rotated lineup against Sunderland anyway, so I'm not expecting to get through, just because I think it's better to focus on our League 2 campaign, getting into those playoff positions, and hopefully continuing to strengthen throughout the course of January as well. You can see there are players that we are currently scouting. I'll show you guys the list. There's a whole bunch of players that we're looking at from Premier Division and Championship clubs that are up at the end of the season. They are all real players. We haven't transitioned to using regens yet. But potentially, if we don't get promoted, maybe we will make that jump a little bit sooner than expected. So a whole bunch that's still going on, a whole bunch of stuff that we're working through. We will jump forward now to the game against Wimbledon and have a look at the 2 lineups that we're going to go with to try and turn our form around a little bit. So just like that, not according to plan, we're playing Wimbledon a few days further ahead of what we thought we were going to be. For us, we've made 2 changes. I've brought in David Wang on the right-hand side. He's our leading assist maker for the season. He does have 15 crossing. And I just don't think Bennett has really performed that high level. 5 appearances that he started in, 2 off the bench, 6.67 average rating. That's not great. The other one I was looking at was Cornett, maybe dropping him for a little bit, but Roland picked up an injury during the week. And I'm also bringing in Mampala, who in his 9 starting appearances has 4 goals and a 6.93 average rating, which is currently lower than Gax's, but I just don't think Gax has had a good month. And Austin Samuels, for me, he's like untouchable. I play him all the time because he finishes most of the opportunities that he gets, but when he doesn't get any opportunities, he's usually a pretty rough player to actually be carrying in your side. The other change, of course, Bellahoon comes in for the suspended Carson. And tactically, we have reverted to our positive structure. We're going to get away from attacking for a little bit. We know Wimbledon are a good side. We can switch to attacking if we need to in the second half. The captain here, Kambalai, looks to be very good. 26-year-old player that starts at Wimbledon. Has made nearly 300 appearances for the club. Looks to be a fairly decent centre-back for a League 2 level. They've got Lee Evans, their leading assist creator in midfield. Ex-Wigan Junior, also played at Sheffield and Wolves before that. Looks to be very, very good. Quite good technical attributes that you can see across here. And up front, their leading scorer, Mohamed Issa, ex-Bristol City, looks to be a very good player as well. So you can see why they're 3rd in the division. They have a very strong squad, only 1 regen that they're currently using, which usually means their first team is fairly good. Passionately, we're going to say, great opportunity to show everyone the media is right to back you up. And we did also, during the course of the week, have a bit of a chat with the squad, and all I said was, I'm keen that your heads don't drop. We have the quality to turn our form around. Everybody took it really well, which is the best that you can hope for in those situations. And if we can get 3 points here, it'll be a massive 3 points. Well, ball in, Jasper was there, back post, just headers over. Good work there from Oyugoke from the throw-in to get the cross in. But if we do get 3 points here, it'll be massive for us. We should jump back up into the promotion spots, or I should say playoff positions. And even if we lost in the playoffs, I'd consider that a successful season coming up for our first year in professional football. Jasper skips past 1 challenge, gets the strike away, just clips the post before going wide. The keeper was scrambling late. He might have had a bit of a snapshot towards the near post there. And statistically, things going very well. We're all over the shots here. They've had 2, but none on target. And this is the first highlight we're going to see of them. Garande to Isa. Skips past one challenge, squares it up for Holden. Back to Isa again, who seems very willing to take on a man. Ball across in midfield. Mampala might get out there on the right-hand side. He's desperate to play starting football. He's kept the ball quite well there. Oyegoke now, exchanging passes with Cornett, and Bellahoon plays it out towards the right. Cornett should recover in midfield and play forward to Gilsonen. Switches out left towards Jasper, who can go at the man here. Steady reset through Sereno. Now Gilsonen, reverse pass to Mampala, who finds the finish, his 5th goal of the season. He's rewarded us with the start that we've given him with a goal, and good little tight control in that tight space. There was a man right on him the entire way. I think it's his left foot that he plays this in. So Gilsonen just with the reverse pass. Mampala, left foot, gets the strike away. Nichols in the Wimbledon goal does get something on it, but can only push it into the back of the net. And we take a 1-goal advantage into the 30th minute. We're going to use our demand more shout as well. Give everyone some focus. Most seem motivated at the moment, which is good as well. Nichols from the goal kick all the way out to Fosso on the right-hand side for Wimbledon. They've looked for a long ball forward. Good header from Rooney, but only as far as Evans in Wimbledon's midfield. Out wide left now to Fosu. They're switching the ball very quickly, and he gets the strike away. It's an excellent finish, to be fair. Tarike Fosu, ex-Reading Junior, it looks like from his little face pack image there. We'll check this one out in 3D. This is the one that kills us. Pike's ball across here, cuts inside, then on his left foot sends a searching ball out to the left-hand side. Fosu skips past one challenge, gets the strike in, and he had a good enough angle to work it in at far post. Just that individual quality of these teams, they will hurt you if you give them an opportunity. Whereas before, if it was a lower division and we gave up that crossfield switch, potentially they wouldn't have made anything of it. Oyegoke's picked up a knock now, 38 minutes in. We're going to play Connolly, who is a little bit out of his depth, but hopefully he can get through it today. And it was Oyegoke's side where they did score initially, so he's got to be a bit of a task ahead of him trying to control Fosu. 3 minutes to be added on here in the first half. They've got a late free kick. It's going to be Isa to take. About 25 yards out. Not a bad effort. Gennaro with a great strike. I think it was going wide, potentially side netting, but the keeper might not have known. From the resulting corner, Fosu, the goal scorer, to take. Deep one across, Cornett with the header away. Gilsonen should get there first. Good tackle. Evans is going to recover the second ball. And the referee does call half-time. I nearly said full-time. 11 shots, 4 on target, 50% of the ball, 7-4 and 50% against one of the better teams in the division. Assertively, let's say we're not doing badly at all. Okay, let's just tell everyone we've got faith in them, or we think there's a lot more to come from them, and hopefully we can sort it out from there. Fosu with the corner in here, first highlight of the second half. Gennaro gets it away. Davies recovers, and then Rooney just clears it out for a corner. He had more time than I think he knew. Ball in from Fosu. Headed away. It's pinballing around. Connolly with the long ball forward. We've got 2v2 if we work this correctly. Samuels has gotten past one. And goal side. Can he find the finish? It's a good save from Nichols. It was on his favoured left foot. He didn't have much of an angle to work with. The defender did quite well to recover. Ball in from David Wang from the corner. Gilsonen resets at the top of the box. He skips past one challenge. Holden goes through him. We're going to have a wide free kick here. We're going to see it through in the highlight. We are. David Wang to take. Back stick. Samuels is there. It's pinballing around and off the goal line. Garande gets it away. Rooney tries to recover but loses out to Pike, who thankfully then cleared it long. They did have quite a few men streaming forward there. Throw in here, Connolly on the right-hand side. Cornett resets back through Rooney. He's got time in front of him. Just pick out a man. Looks out left to Jasper. It's going to get cleared to Sereno. Inside to Gilsonen. Across to Cornett. Back to Bellahoon. Out wide left to Jasper. Now Gilsonen again. To Sereno. Back to Gilsonen. We're dragging men around. We're creating little pockets of space. It's good to see. Rooney, Bellahoon now. Forward towards Jasper, who's 1v1 finally. Skips past one challenge. Can he find the finish? It's a great strike, and Nichols again with an excellent save. From the resulting corner, Jasper to take. Looks towards Mampala. Bellahoon was there as well. He just overran the ball. We're through an hour now. We're going to let this highlight play out, and then we'll have a look at some subs. Sereno on the left-hand side towards Mampala. Gilsonen at the top of the box. Over to David Wang. We've got one more man outside. He finds him now in Connolly, who gets the strike away, and it clips the crossbar as it heads out. Would have been a weird source, a right back coming off the bench and scoring for us. Jasper said it's saying that he's struggling here. I didn't think he'd been that bad. We'll bring on Longello anyway. We'll bring on Bennett off the bench. 2 new wingers, a bit more creativity in those wide positions. Let's tell them we've got faith in them, and let's use our Get Creative shout to try and inspire us to find a second goal and take another advantage. Throw in here, Madeline to take for Wimbledon. Isa plays the 1-2 with him. Now Pike, good turn in the wide right area. Into the box now. Someone's got to go to him. Thankfully the strike is poor and well and truly wide of the goal itself. Alright, we're into the last 10 minutes now. I do have one more sub, but I'm not going to panic about it. We just used our demand more feedback. Oh, we don't have one more sub because Connolly came on. That's right. We might be destined for a draw here. 3 minutes to be added on. Haven't been many highlights here in the second half. And the referee calls full time. 19 shots, 9 on target and 54% possession. 14 shots, 7 on target and 46% of the ball for Wimbledon. 1-1 might be a fair result. It was an excellent goal from Fosu. I can't be too upset about it. Assertively, everyone thought we'd get beaten today, and you did well. Good result. But it doesn't quite push us back up the table, and we drop now as low as 11th. Still not miles off the playoff positions, but ideally what you'd want to think is that we have enough in our squad to finish in those top 7 spots. Goke's out for a few weeks. He's got a twisted ankle. We're going to leave that to physio, and we're going to tell him don't worry about his injury, and he's good with that, which is good to see. Now, what does that do to our schedule? So we've got Sunderland, which will be a big game. If we get through, we'll probably come back and bring you that game in February. But what I am thinking is that we will jump forward a little bit, and potentially, what kind of games have we got? Maybe we do York and Yeovil. Maybe we jump forward a fair bit. We do York and Yeovil for our Wednesday episode. We do Tranmere and Scunthorpe, who are currently in second in the division, for our Thursday episode. And then we finish off the season with a chance at revenge against Leyton Orient and a game against Colchester to close out the year and find out where we finish. I think that's how we'll do it. I think that sets it up nicely to finish out the week and finish out our first season in League 2 football. As always, guys, if you want to put more Some Taught on the channel, you can subscribe to be kept up to date on all videos as they are released. You can also throw a like on this video if you want to please that YouTube algorithm, get more views on it, get it higher in that Football Manager search engine so that we do grow the community, we do get more people in the comment section and stuff below. If you check out the links just over to that side, you can check at @InTheMixer_FM, if I can say it correctly, which has all of our interactions with the FM community. And of course, if you ever want to reach out, you can do so there or in the comment section below. I do respond to every comment that I get. Also keep an eye on our twitch.tv/InTheMixer_FM for our Sunday night saves. We do Sunday nights if you're in Australia, Sunday mornings if you are over in the UK, and super early Sunday morning if you're in North America. But more than anything, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's the part I appreciate the most. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the Mixer.